What's up, family? Hey, I want to have a serious conversation with you guys today about something that I really don't talk a whole lot about. You know what I mean? I don't talk about this a lot. I very rarely have mentioned this in the past. Um, 2015, give you guys the backdrop. 2014, my brother passed away, colon cancer. The end of 2014, actually. 2015, February 2015, I found out that my wife, um, the love of my life, the most beautiful woman I had ever met up until that point, um, my soulmate, my everything, you know what I mean? Found out that she had stage 4 breast cancer and that she was going to pass away. And so 2015, 2014, man, I'm struggling. You know what I mean? I'm struggling, um, going through a lot, emotionally, spiritually, um, having a real battle with God. You know what I mean? Um, and just going through it. And I want to say something, family. We have to understand that the English language is one of the youngest languages on the planet. Okay, it's new, relatively new. So we have to get out of this arrogant, narcissistic, ignorant mentality that we can only call God God. You know what I mean? And that God is only going to answer you when you refer to him as God. God is so much bigger than that. God is so much deeper than that. God don't give a crap what you call him. You know what I mean? Again, the English language is new. Nobody was calling God God. You know what I mean? We have to grow up emotionally. We have to grow up spiritually. Okay? That's just a freebie I just threw on there. That's not what I wanted to talk about. Kind of, sort of. Anyways, so I'm having this conversation with God. What the heck is going on? You know, why did my brother, who was in his early 40s, why did he have to pass away from cancer? You know what I mean? Good guy. You know what I mean? Didn't have a ill bone in his body towards anybody. Great dude. You know what I mean? Why did he have to go? And before I can even get to some type of closure as far as him leaving, my wife gets cancer. Well, we get informed that she has stage 4 breast cancer. There's nothing they could do. So I'm going through it. You know what I mean? I'm going through it. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And so I'm talking to God and I'm asking him, man, what's going on? You know what I mean? What in the heck, And man, yesterday I made a video talking about intimacy. Man, I have a very intimate relationship with God. I know some of you are real religious and real spiritual, and you talk to him like, dear Heavenly Father. Man, that's not me. In any way, shape, or form, that's not me. I ain't got time for that foolishness. God's a homie. You know what I mean? God's my brother. You know what I mean? He's my everything. You know what I mean? But I talk to him like he's one of the dudes. I talk to him like he's one of my boys. That's how close we are. That's how intimate our relationship is. And he ain't got a problem with it. I know for you super spiritual, you hyper spiritual people, you above that. You know what I mean? And I'm wrong for this. It is what it is. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not going to change my relationship with God because it doesn't fit your standards. It doesn't fit your, criteria as far as God-human relationship. I don't have time for that foolishness. I don't. To each their own. You know what I mean? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And so me and God have this relationship. Man, when I'm feeling it, man, I talk to him like I'm feeling it. I let him know that I'm feeling it. It's not like he don't know. So if he already knows what I'm thinking, why am I gonna try to hide it and sugarcoat it and be all etiquette and proper and man, I ain't got time for that foolishness. And he ain't got time for it. He, she, it ain't got time for that foolishness. You're not kidding nobody but yourself. It is what it is. So me and God, we're chopping it up, man. What the heck is going on? My wife is getting ready to go, and this is my best friend. This is my homie. This is my road dog. This is my everything. My everything. And you're taking her. I'm not cool with this. You know what I mean? I got an issue with this. A major issue with this. We got a problem. You know what I mean? And I don't care how busy you are. I don't care what you got going on in the rest of the world. Man, we're going to have a heart-to-heart about this. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a long, drawn-out heart-to-heart. And so, man, for months, me and God chopped it up. Summer 2015. There's this lady who's written a lot of books. And she had a silent retreat. And what that is, you go and you meditate and you're around other people, but you don't talk. You don't talk to anybody. You're just out in nature. And it was about a 5-hour drive from where I live at, where I lived at. So I drove there the night before, or the day before, because I wasn't real familiar with the area, and I was just going to get a hotel, crash, and then go up to the place that morning. Just so happens that the time that I was there, they had the little town had a concert, a musical concert, and there was no hotels, no motels, nothing available, nothing. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, oh my goodness, what the heck is going on? So I go up to the place, and again, it's in the mountains, it's wooded, it's secluded. Everything's locked up, I can't get in, and so I just park on the outside in a little white sports car in the middle of the mountains in the summertime, and it's hot. It's hot. And so I'm sitting in the car, and I'm just talking to God, just excited about this retreat, and just everything, just not knowing why I had to be there. I had to be there. And I never really left my wife, and her oldest son came, stayed with her so that I could leave and go to this retreat. And so I'm just like tripping out on just how everything's working out. So I'm out here in the woods in this hot car, just looking up at the stars. And I could hear the music in the background, from the concert that they were having. And on 3 different occasions, I felt like a spiral effect taking place right here in my third eye. I know that's going to trip some of you out. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. 3 different occasions that night, I felt like a little spiral thing right here. And I didn't think too much about it, I wasn't really tripping off of it, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, it is what it is, whatever, I've never felt that before, and I've never felt that since, okay? This is 2015. And so, I didn't talk about this a whole lot, and I don't talk about this a whole lot, because many of us will say, man, you had your third eye open. And most people will assume that when you open your third eye, or when your third eye is open, you reach enlightenment. Family, that's not how this works. You know what I mean? That's not how this works, okay? And that's what we need to talk about today, okay? We're going to talk about what that actually is, okay? It's not that you just automatically just boom, all this knowledge, all this wisdom, all this insight is just dumped on you. You know what I mean? It don't work like that. That's ignorant. That's ignorant, okay? You have to have put in the work prior to your third eye opening. And I'm going to explain what that is in just a second. It's not like out of the blue, you ain't did nothing, and then boom, it opens up and you ain't worthy of it, you ain't proved yourself, you ain't done anything, as far as work, emotional work, spiritual work, you haven't done anything to deserve it. That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. See, the third eye opening, all that is, family, we put a whole lot on that. And it's a big deal. It's just a spiritual gate. It's a spiritual door to another realm. That's all that is, okay? It's not like somebody comes out and God says, okay, well, boom, you got all knowledge, you got all wisdom, you got all understanding. That's not, no, it don't work like that, okay? It just means that now you have access to more spiritual enlightenment. You have more access to God, if you will. You have more access to knowledge that you couldn't get before. You still got to put in the work. And it's weird because I wasn't meditating at the time. I wasn't praying at the time. I wasn't doing anything enlightening at the time that happened. I was sitting in the car in the summer, in the heat, just looking up at the stars, anticipating the retreat that I was about to go on, contemplating my life without my wife, who was my best friend, who was my everything, trying to understand the dynamics of everything that was going on in my life, having lost my brother, now getting ready to lose my wife. And this happens. Why am I having this conversation? Because it's different for different people. It's different for different people. Some people meditate and their eyes are open, or their third eye is open. Some people go on a fast and their third eye is open. You know what I mean? It's different for different people, okay? I wasn't doing anything seeking this to happen. I wasn't doing anything actively wanting this to happen. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting it to happen. I wasn't looking for it to happen. It just happened. I had absolutely no control over it at all. Okay? You still got to be able to do the work. You still have to do the work. And what do I mean do the work? Man, you got to study. You got to pray. You got to meditate. You got to fast. You got to do whatever it is you got to do to grow spiritually, to grow emotionally. You got to be willing to deal with your emotional drama. You got to be willing to deal with your emotional baggage. Just because you suppress it, just because you ignore it, don't mean that you dealt with it. It don't mean that you overcame it. It doesn't mean that you've gone past it or you moved beyond that point. And many times, great majority of the times, in our subconscious mind, we have stuff that we haven't dealt with. And we're only given so much to deal with at a time. So as we deal with that issue, and we get a reprieve, and we get a resting period, a break, then something else comes up from our subconscious mind that we have to work on. It's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process. There's always something to work on. There's always something to resolve. There's always something to gain some knowledge, some understanding about, to grow from. Always. And so we can't have this ignorant mentality that, man, once you open up your third eye. And when you open up your third eye, again, that's just we're spiritual beings, okay? We have two natural eyes, okay? But we have a third eye. Our third eye is just our spiritual eyes. How we see things spiritually. Just like we have spiritual ears. We have two ears, natural ears, but we also have spiritual ears. How we hear things spiritually. And so we have to get out of this taboo. We have to get out of this ignorant mentality that the third eye is something that came from Hindu religion. The third eye is something that goes back to this. There's no written documentation throughout history, other than probably the Hindu religion or the Hindu beliefs, that Hindu is the first group of people on the planet. You know what I mean? And why am I saying that? Because it didn't revolve from Hinduism. Your spiritual eyes, your spiritual ears didn't revolve from Hinduism. Everybody has always known that. We've had different names that we've called them because we spoke different dialects, we spoke different languages. Every culture is always understood that you were spiritual beings. Every culture has always understood that we have spiritual eyes and we have spiritual ears. And so we got to get out of this ignorant thing that, man, this is some Hindu false god stuff. Man, we got to get past that stupid stuff. And again, to each their own. You can continue to believe that, and your spiritual level, your spiritual growth and development will only go so high. It's only going to go so high until you resolve that ignorance, until you resolve that arrogance that you're holding on to that's keeping you stuck in that realm. We have to grow up, family. We have to grow up spiritually. We have to grow up emotionally. We have to grow up intellectually. We don't know everything. And as long as you believe that you have to refer to God as God, as long as you believe that there's no such thing as having your spiritual eyes open, your such thing as having your spiritual ears open, man, your growth and development is going to remain stunted. I don't care how much you fake the funk. It's a dog up here. I don't care how much you fake the funk and try to act like you're all spiritual, you're all knowing and all that. All you're going to be doing is faking the funk. My hope and prayer is that we grow up. Morning, how you doing? I'm doing good, thank you. My hope and prayer is that we grow up and that we understand that, man, we have to get a better understanding of not just who God is, but who we are, of who we are. And the greater understanding that we get of who God is, the greater understanding we'll have of who we are. The greater understanding we have of who we are, the greater understanding we'll have of who God is. And again, God is not trapped or bound by your limited knowledge or your limited wisdom and the language that you speak. Everybody don't speak English. Everybody's not going to refer to him as God or Yahweh or Yeshua or whatever the name you want, Elohim or whatever the names you want to call him. Everybody don't speak that. Get over that. Stop tripping on stupid stuff. Grow up spiritually. Grow up emotionally. Grow up intellectually. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.